Hello.
Hey, Ivory.
Hello. I'm just waiting for them to come back. They're still lunch for another few minutes.
Did you have some lunch?
I did. I had a chicken sandwich.
Oh, yummy.
Yeah. Come on, Moo.
Moo.
I can't, this cat, man. Such a punk. What are you doing? He also had lunch, but I'm wearing black. Not today, cat. Not today. So what do you think about this? Hey, Tammy, Mom. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Paula.
I think it's honestly, I remember this when it happened, but I didn't follow it.
Yeah.
So that's why I was asking a bunch of questions. And yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah,
it's
it
a
is.
shame. It's a sad state of affairs, that's for sure. But
yeah, I agree.
I don't know, this husband didn't seem like he was doing enough. That's, yeah, I mean, of course he wasn't.
He didn't take anything seriously, I think.
Right.
You
He
know,
was just like, oh, she's just sad or whatever. He wasn't grasping the seriousness of it. It's how I felt.
Yeah.
Hey, she said.
I agree. I agree. Hey, she said, you coming up here? Thank you over there, Tammy Mom. Thank you, Lakota. Thank you, guys. Hello, hello. Can you guys on YouTube and Facebook hear me okay? It seems to me the husband was aware, and I think he did try. It's possible he tried. I mean, definitely possible. I can't put any responsibility on him. He's not, he's not a professional. The prosecutor talking about the babies made me cry. Yeah, I feel like they made a lot of people cry.
Yeah.
I didn't like the defense's opening statements. I thought it lacked in a lot of areas. You can, Lakota, you can hear me good. Yes, Faithless. But yeah, I didn't like his opening statement, but I'm gonna, hope that he knows what he's doing.
Hey, Ivory, just so you know, my granddaughter's back in town, and she's like blowing my phone up, going, "Can we go squishy, honey?" I'm like, "You just came back from Texas. You got a whole new wardrobe. Like, what else do you need?"
Squishies.
So if I drop down, that means I went to get her to take her squishy, honey.
That's fine. That's okay. Joy said maybe not enough though, but mental illness is a real thing, and I don't think she would go that far. Yeah, mental illness is a real thing, and I think she presented all of the signs that we are trained or that most of us know to take seriously. And not getting this woman the mental help that she needs is an injustice, right?
And
Obviously.
Too, a lot of people have mental health, and they're so funny and they're so outgoing that you don't even know, and then it hits you like a rock upside the head.
Yeah. Yep, it's hard. Some definitely should be put on him. You talk about responsibility for the husband. He pretty much said he didn't do anything when she stated she had thoughts and asked her if they disturbed her. I agree. I feel like that really should have been a red flag if you care about somebody and somebody doesn't really have those thoughts, and that's a new thought that really you should take it a little bit more seriously than I believe he did. Sonia, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Let me see where we're still not back yet. We got 4 minutes. I feel like I said I wanted to hurt my kids, and the same person should take the front seat and take the kids. Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Joyce. This is Moo. This is Moo's show. I agree, Mom. I think he's broken. I definitely think he feels some guilt, right? I'm not, and should he? Yeah, probably a little bit. But, Karen Living, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Negligence from the ex-husband. I think I'm torn on that one. Like, I think that he definitely should have I don't think people realize how serious mental health is. And I think a lot of times because it's something that we notice inside of our heads and that other people don't see, that, they may not take it as seriously because they don't see it. They don't, you know what I mean? They're not feeling it. So it's really hard for them to understand. And I think that's the problem. I don't think he was negligent. I think she wasn't taking all of her meds and hid things from others. I think that that combination of meds would have been a really bad thing. And I don't know that I believe that, I've said this before. There was many reasons for her to have gone into a psychosis, not just the medications. While the medications are bad and the mixing of them is bad and, the way they were handled were bad, the lack of sleep, just the depression escalating in and of itself can cause psychosis. You didn't need the medications to cause psychosis. Lack of sleep can cause it, worsening of the postpartum depression and all of that. There are many reasons many things that could have caused psychosis to happen, not just the medications, although they could have aided in it. So let me see where we're at now. Jamie's here and on time. Look at that.
She's not going to be fired.
Right?
Comments, those 104 people. If you guys will hit your right arrow on the bottom, scroll all the way down, hit the star where it says repost to your story, then you don't have to
Thank
share
you,
it to
Glenda.
all your friends. Everybody will see it. It will get to the FYP, and we will not.
Thank you, Glenda. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, guys. Her being in labor and delivery and can't understand what she did. I'm not sure I understand that comment.
Is she on the YouTube side or?
Yeah, I don't think she's here today, but I know her grandson. Yeah, she's doing some family stuff. I heard, so she may be busy.
All right, what do you think so far?
I think that, did you see the opening statements, Jamie?
I missed part of them, but I don't know. Go ahead, and then I'll.
I don't think the defense opening statement did us any justice.
No, so.
I think it lacked in emotion. I think although we did look into the guy and the guy seems to be a very good. Oh, I see what you're saying, Joyce. But he seems to be a very good attorney. And so I'm going to hope that he knows what he's doing and he did whatever he did on purpose. Otherwise, he botched that opening statement. I think the prosecution's opening statement was extremely emotional to the point where the woman was getting all choked up and she couldn't even say what she had to say. And I think that the jury seeing that emotion from the prosecutor really, really made a big deal. It was a big deal.
I mean, listen to him. It's like he seemed to know what was going on. I mean, did you see the look on his face when they showed him that picture?
Yeah.
Like he was like.
Yeah. It just, yeah, I don't know. I feel like.
I don't know. Some people are saying, because I'm reading other things in other places while we're on lunch break. They seem to think, she's in there taking a selfie. They think she's kind of malingering at some point.
I don't think, it doesn't seem to me like she's malingering. I really don't see malingering happening there. I feel like
she was in that medical hospital, whatever. Like she lied to her husband about seeing doctors, therapists, and what they were doing, and they're trying to regulate her medication, and then she wanted to leave. So that didn't look good.
No, but I mean, yeah, I agree there. I mean, was she really lying? What were they doing for her, though?
So they can't stand it.
Right. So. Right. And you know what, though? It makes sense on a weekend during a holiday in a psych hospital that they wouldn't have had much in place. That's common practice where they really are sitting there coloring.
He saw 2 doctors. She had they had a place for her, but she didn't want to. I don't know. There was a day or two there that she didn't want to comply with what they were trying to help her with. She just wanted to leave. I guess they were saying that she made it look like, she only had 5 days there and they let her go. No, she actually signed herself. She wanted to leave.
Well, she wanted to leave, but they discharged her.
Say that wasn't the right place for her.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you sign yourself out, they can't do nothing on that. They can't.
But she didn't sign herself out, AMA. They discharged her.
She said she wanted to leave.
What? That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. The doctor okays the discharge. If he discharged her, he takes responsibility and he set up a plan. That discharge is on that doctor. I don't care how many times she says she wants to leave. Discharge is on him, whether or not he accepts the discharge. She can leave against medical advice. And honestly, if you weren't going to set up the discharge and weren't comfortable with it, I would have let her, because then you're responsible for that discharge. She did not leave against medical advice. They discharged her. That is a big difference with responsibility.
Like I said, they can't. If she says she wants to leave, I mean, what else can they do?
How many patients in a psych hospital say, okay, I want to go home now? Doesn't mean they get to leave.
To walk out. But they couldn't do anything else for her. I wouldn't want to stay. Experience with being, forced hospitalized. I've had mental health my whole life, ideas of self-harm, all of that. And I've also battled psychosis when I was in the throes of depression, combined with self-medicating with alcohol. And there's so much that goes into it. She could have not wanted to stay because she was worried about her job. That was a big one for me. As far as like depression, it's well known that people with depression mask it. Like all of my friends will tell you how funny I am, and it is a defense and a masking mechanism for me, or it's a way to cope.
Right.
And there's just so much that goes into it. And when it comes to psychosis, it's not just you wake up one day and bam, it's there. It starts out as small little thoughts and you're aware of them and you're like, no, that's ridiculous. That's just a bad thought. Push it out of my head, blah, blah, blah. But over time, it starts to escalate to where you don't know what is real and what is not. And you inside, you're like, is this one of those thoughts or is this actually happening? And it's a very confusing and scary position to be in.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I agree with that. Let me see if we're back at court. We're still, wait.
I don't see anything yet.
No, we're still not back at court. We're a little late. They're running 5 minutes late. And the first few days that she and her ex-husband said she was feeling good until like a week later if she didn't continue the meds. That makes sense. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like, do we think that this woman really went through all of that hospitalizations and programs because she was faking it?
No, I don't think, how do I say this? I think there was some type of mental illness there, but I'm not sure. I'm just not sure yet.
Involuntary mental health treatment goes on your record. When patients are threatened with involuntary treatment, they won't usually push the issue. That's true.
Right.
Yeah. They are on lunch. Yeah. Yep. Let me see if they're back. No, they're not back yet. All right, do me a favor over here on TikTok. If you're just getting in here and you're not following, don't forget to give a follow. Don't forget to follow the panel. Guys, do me a favor, repost, share it out, do your thing, because at some point, y'all, I'm going to be hit. It happens all the time. Those of you over here on FB and on YouTube, if you guys can do me a favor and give this live a thumbs up, like it, do whatever it is, share it out, do whatever you can do. I really do appreciate it. And Dana Dane, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Let's see what's happening. Can we get back to court now? They're running late. What are we doing here? How dare they be late for court? Like, you're wasting the court's time. I don't know. Part of me feels like the prosecuting attorney was trying to make it look like the husband was doing more than the wife, that there wasn't a lot of pressure on her. Did anybody else get that feeling that that's where she was trying to go with that? Yeah.
Which I think there was a lot of pressure on him, you know. To
I
be home,
agree.
work from home, help take care of children with her issues.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Charm, this is the Lindsay Clancy trial we're watching. We had opening statements this morning. The husband, not the cat, just knocked my. What is he doing? Moo, what are you doing? They had opening statements this morning, and then we heard the prosecution question the husband, and now we're waiting for the defense to question the husband or to. You haven't heard of this one yet? Okay, so Charm, let me give you a quick rundown before court starts. So you got Lindsay Clancy. She was a labor and delivery nurse. She had 3 children. She, in January of 2024, she strangled her 3 children to death with an exercise band, and then she cut her wrist, cut her neck, took some pills, and jumped out a second-story window. She's on trial right now because they're trying to see. Now we know she did it, but we're trying to see is she criminally responsible, because her argument is she was in some kind of psychosis, postpartum psychosis. And the prosecution is saying, no, she absolutely wasn't. She knew what she was doing. So, Glenda, you can. So that's where we are. We're just waiting for court to reconvene. So, me and Jamie can get to it. No, so we can hear the defense questioning the husband. Still not back yet. We're 10 minutes late for court. What's happening?
On Wednesday, Court TV is going to start a live broadcast at 9 a.m. instead of 10 a.m. So
all right. Let me get this ready to push over here. Look at me trying to duck. I don't even know what I'm doing. All right, y'all can see that over on Facebook and YT, I'm assuming. A lot of cases, people did these things to have something to fall on. Lakota, elaborate on that. I'm not sure what you mean there. Thank you guys for sharing out the live. I appreciate it. And guys, as soon as court starts, it has not started yet, but as soon as it does, for those of you over here on TikTok, if y'all can tap the screen until your thumbs go numb and your fingers go numb, I appreciate it. Otherwise, I'm going to get hit again. I've been hit twice, 3 times actually. Thank you, Lisa, for the follow. I appreciate it. They are on lunch. They should be coming. They should have been back 10 minutes ago. Hey, you just got done mowing the lawn. So you're ready for this. Do I think that the defense tried to pick more women over men? I want to say, yeah, I think women were picked on purpose. Emlo, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Mandy Finn, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I do believe that they tried to pick more women. However, I think that having a woman on the jury can go one of 2 ways. Either they can have an understanding or a personal experience with postpartum mental health, right? And they can really get what this woman's state of mind was, or it could do the opposite, right? It could be like, I'm a mother and I would never do that to my children. I can't understand how any woman could. So I think having more women on that jury could actually do just as much damage as it could good. Respi Terry, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Wait, I don't know, women can be far more judgmental than our male counterparts. Absolutely. Although I think that there's definitely a lack of understanding with men, right? They'll never understand postpartum and hormones like that. Booking themselves in on voluntary admits to the hospital, talking to doctors about mental health, etc. They use it as an insanity plea. Well, that means, what would have been her motivation if she wanted to just kill the children? Nikki, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. What would have been the motivation? You know what I mean? Like, why would she want to kill the kids? And her relationship with her husband seemed to be good. I mean, I don't see why. Deb, thank you for the follow. Standing on business, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I don't understand where the motive, why she would have killed the kids. She could have just killed herself if she could help it, right? Charles, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I feel like, I don't know, I don't see a motive in it. I don't see a benefit.
wanted to do it. It could be the other one too. We just don't know her.
You think that she could have wanted to kill the children, just kill them?
There's plenty of people who killed their children because they killed one.
Right, but is that really a right state of mind? I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like no normal person wakes up one day and says, you know what, I'm gonna kill my entire family. Like that,
That just happened. I read it earlier. One guy just did it.
right?
6 children and his wife.
I agree, but
It's up.
isn't there something wrong? Isn't there something wrong with somebody who does that?
Oh yeah, there's some type of insulation in there, of course. Yes.
You know, so it's like,
I
but
just need to listen more. I need more
I agree.
information. It's like it's so.
I agree. I'm not gonna lie. I'm curious to see what where the prosecution's going and what they have, because again, we haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. So right now, like, there's nothing that can make me change my mind about it being psychosis. However, I want to stay objective because I haven't seen or heard what the prosecution has. So I agree with you, Jamie. I think this will be interesting to watch.
It's gonna be very tough for them.
Yeah.
Especially in this type of case, it's very hard to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's the word I'm looking for.
It's
to get her on, on that what. For I mean, I'm sure her lawyer set her up for this, just like any case that any lawyer would go in.
oh, they're back.
When she first came around.
Before we bring the jury in.
No, Your Honor. Did you want the witness on the stand now or after?
Well, if we've got a couple seconds
Right.
coming in right now, if you want to have them take the stand.
All right, can you all hear this over there? Let me.
Oh boy.
I see Marcy. I will.
She said that people on the internet, this is just a month. People on the internet.
Miss Kiki, thank you for the follow.
Imagine
Taya,
being
thank you
able
for
to
the
build
follow. I
anything
appreciate it.
just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform.
Shay, thank you for the follow. User, thank you for the follow.
I don't know. I think what people need to understand, she wasn't on all those medications at once.
Right. But I don't think she had to be.
People in the comments saying that she was on loads of medication, so she wasn't always on all those at once. Maybe 2 or 3 from what her husband states.
Kellyanne, thank you for the follow. That was just her family that you just saw there.
This court's now in session. Please be seated.
Your Honor, for the purpose of the record, we return back to the trial in the matter of Commonwealth versus Lindsay Clancy. All parties are present, including the defendant.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, members of the jury. Therese Sprague?
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, before the break, we were talking about Lindsay's stay at McLean Hospital, correct?
Correct.
Were you aware that she was discharged on January 5th, 2023?
Yes,
And did you, in fact, bring her home that day?
I picked her up. Yeah.
Were you aware that she had a follow-up appointment with Dr. Jennifer Tufts the following day?
Yes.
I want to show
You
you
all see him? Okay, good.
some photos here of the children and just ask if this is a fair and accurate depiction of how they looked in January of 2023.
Who looked in January of 2023?
Yes.
Thank you. You could have them mark this next 4 exhibits.
All right. It may be marked.
The kids. KB, thank you for the follow. I mean, that was just from, I mean, did you really need to show him a picture of his kids? He knows what his kids look like.
Well, thank you. So showing you exhibit 9. This is Cora, correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about what Cora was like in January of 2023, what her interests were?
Why is it so low?
I'm gonna object at this point.
Counsel, could I see it sidebar?
Oh, we're starting the sidebars. Can you all see? You guys can't see her here. Hold on. They're all over the place with this. It's so low. They didn't show anything. You guys saw what they showed. Is that better, Sandra?
So, sir, if you could just tell us a little bit about Cora's interests at that time.
Cora was into princesses. And she had a lot of friends. And she just liked taking care of people.
And showing you Dawson, correct?
Yes.
What kind of things was Dawson interested in?
Using the firefighters and trucks. And he liked Paw Patrol.
Exhibit 11, Alan. He was only 8 months old, correct?
Correct.
Did he have any interest or
He was just a happy baby.
baby? And then just showing you quickly Exhibit 12. Does this picture clearly indicate their sizes in relation to each other in January 2023?
Yes.
After Lindsay was released from McLean Hospital, was there a birthday party for Cora on January 7th, 2023?
Yes.
And who had organized that birthday party?
I think we both did.
And where was it?
It was at Nova in Plymouth.
And was Lindsay present for the party?
Yes.
And do you recall who got all the supplies and everything for the party?
I think Lindsay did.
We could play a video. I'm going to ask you to look at a video and just tell me if you recognize this as a video from the party. Or was that from the party?
That
Yeah.
is unnecessary.
Was that Cora seated in front of Lindsay while singing Happy Birthday?
Yeah.
And there's a second clip. Again, was that Cora and Lindsay?
Yeah.
This really isn't necessary. This is for emotional.
Hope to have the birthday videos as the next exhibit.
That may be admitted.
13 so far. From Cora's birthday party until January 23rd, 2023, did you check on and check in with Lindsay?
Every day.
And how did you do that?
I would ask her in the morning how she's feeling, how she slept.
And did she tell you that she was sleeping better?
Maybe a little bit better, but she's still struggling.
And Did you ask her during that time if she had suicidal thoughts?
Yeah,
And what was her response?
she told me no.
She told you what?
She said no.
No. Did she ever tell you during that time period that she was having thoughts of harming the children?
No.
Did you as a family go to the Museum of Science on January 8th, 2023?
Yes.
Was the defendant able to participate in activities with the children while at the museum on January 8th?
Yes.
I'm going to pull up some photographs. Just ask you to ID or identify everyone in the photograph so that the jurors can follow their movements through the video footage in the video. So if I may, down here in the maroon colored shirt,
It's Dawson.
Dawson, and in the red skirt,
Cora.
and in the gray jacket,
Lindsay.
and here pushing the carriage,
That's me.
and is Callan in the carriage at that time?
Yeah.
And permission to play the video, Your
Can I
Honor?
see again sidebar?
Sidebar again, because you're just playing these videos for the emotional benefit of them, not because they're necessary. It's wild. So we could play all these videos and watch all this, but we couldn't hear a 911 call? I'd rather just let us hear the 911 call and forget we don't need to see these. You said the sound is better on TikTok? You're still in sidebar. No, they're on a sidebar. They were playing a video.
You, just you,
Yeah.
building your app on base 44. Describe it. And it's real.
Still in sidebar. The sound is better now, Angela? Okay. Yeah, she's got to feel horrible. All right, come on. How long is this sidebar? What's happening here?
There's no way I would want to be in either one of their situations right now.
Absolutely not. No. No way.
I can't imagine.
Yeah. All right, come on with the sidebar. What are we doing here? Yeah, like Angela just said, guys, this trial is emotional, so make sure that you are aware and take care of yourself. These discussions can get a little heavy, so let's remember that. Still sidebar. Do y'all think it was weird he had all those medications in his truck? Yeah, I do.
Wait a minute, who said he had medications in the truck?
Because he did. He said he took them to the truck, left them in the truck, and then brought them to the hospital. Or brought them to wherever. So they knew what she was taking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like he was taking her medication away from her or something.
No. Well, he said that he brought them in the truck, and that's why he had them in the truck. I just don't know. I don't know.
Didn't he say he was getting rid of them?
Yeah, he was supposed to get rid of them.
Taking them to the police department to have them get rid of them. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to feel for him a little bit. Imagine having to look at that knowing that your kids are not here anymore.
Yeah, but he never got around to it. I don't know.
I
wonder if maybe there wasn't an argument.
It's a month.
I wonder if maybe there wasn't an argument. He was like, "You're not taking these anymore because you're just not acting right." I don't know.
I don't know. The way they were making it look, it's like she had the medications, but she wasn't taking them.
Yeah.
She'd take them for a couple of days, and she wasn't really giving them time to work. 2 days is not enough time to make them work. And then she would call them back up and say she didn't like that. And then they prescribe her something else.
We're back.
And at this time, we've moved to submit the still photograph and the video pursuant to the discussion at sidebar. I'd move to submit the full video in as one exhibit for identification and the timeline video as the exhibit.
Timeline. Did we, for, you submit a copy of that later?
No, there's the full video that was provided by the
Right.
Science, and then there's a timeline that was created following the family through the museum, and we can get snippets from this video.
Okay, that's fine.
So for identification. Museum Science video. Exhibit C, so marked.
I need everyone to be aware of their microphones. Talk in your microphone, people. You're all walking away from the microphones talking. You kick it.
Sir, after going to the Museum of Science, well, let me go back to that for a moment. At the Museum of Science, do you recall the defendant being able to interact with the children at exhibits that required, manipulating knobs and materials and showing the children how to do those exhibits and interacting with them at those exhibits?
Yeah, Lindsay was always able to interact with our kids, even including at the Museum of Science.
And then after your trip to the Museum of Science, do you remember going to the Charlie Horse restaurant with the kids and Lindsay?
Yes.
And how soon after the Museum
Yes,
of
Jennifer,
Science
this
was
is the
that?
dad.
Do you recall?
I don't recall the exact dates.
Okay. And what type of place is the Charlie Horse restaurant?
It's like a family restaurant with games.
And how was the defendant's demeanor at the restaurant?
It was good. I was hopeful
Why were you hopeful?
because she seemed much better.
And then on January 14th, 2023, were you able to go to brunch with your friends while the defendant was home with the children?
Yeah.
And about how long were you gone?
About 2 hours.
Were there any issues or problems that you were aware of while you were gone?
No, she encouraged me to go. She said, "You've just been inside a lot. You should go out," and it was fine.
And while you were there at brunch, she send you photos of the kids and text messages?
I think so. Yeah.
So you got a break. You got to get out.
Direct your attention to January 15th, 2023. Did you and Lindsay and the kids go to the Cape Codder in Hyannis?
Yeah.
And was there a water park there?
Yeah.
And how was Lindsay's demeanor that day?
It seemed pretty good.
Was she able to interact with the children and participate in the activities?
Yes.
I could bring up photos again. I would just like you to look at the photos to point out who the individuals are in the photo.
It's demeanor at the restaurant.
So here in the dark shorts with the white band on the top,
It's me.
and then in the bathing suit here with the ponytail,
It's Cora.
and then in the striped swimsuit at the bottom.
It's Dawson.
And then here in the black bathing suit without shoulder straps,
Lindsay.
Lindsay. And is that was Cora with her?
Yes.
I'm not understanding what the point of this is.
And in this third photo, is that Lindsay with Callan in her arms?
Yeah.
And that photo there, is that Dawson with the striped bathing suit?
Yep.
We can go to the video with the court's permission.
Hold on.
I'm just going to go to certain clips. If we could start with from the beginning to 40 seconds in and play. Sir, if you could tell us who, well, can you confirm that that's you?
Whoa. What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
Impossible.
The video's got no sound. It's just of them walking around in the.
Or in the purple jacket with the pink boots.
Yes.
And Lindsay in the gray coat with the backpack.
Yes.
They're trying to prove right. They're trying to prove that Lindsay was fine.
And then if we could go to 139.
Guys, do me a favor, numb thumbs, because y'all know I'm going to get hit for this one. Yeah.
And during this time, are you waiting to check in and get your wristbands and all of that?
Yeah.
could go to 647.
Is that her with the stroller?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you recognize this play area?
Yes.
And did you and Lindsay and the children go over to this hardship area?
Yep.
Showing you here is that Cora that just went down the slide.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? Just be. So do people with mental illness just sit and not move?
And is that you there by the slide?
Yeah.
We can go to 1122. Let's see.
And what day did they say this was on, guys?
I didn't catch what day it was.
I think
Ivory.
this was this for Cora's birthday party?
It was for one of their birthdays, yes.
So, I mean, this video right here is going to show us what mental state the woman was in. Are we for real? Like, why are they making him watch this? I'm not. Part of me wonders if they're not trying to make the dad mad so he gets angry and says something and reacts. I don't understand what the point of this is. We're watching little kids play in a water park. What's happening?
Sir, here at 1625. That Cora and then Lindsay that go down the slide together.
Yeah.
Oh, well, she definitely looks mentally healthy there. Come on. I don't understand.
Well, if nothing else, they're definitely showing that she cared about her kids, even with her not doing well.
So she's able
That's
to
true.
interact with Cora and the others, participate in the activities.
Yeah.
So being able to
If we
go
could
through
go to
the motions of
47,
parenting means that you can't have mental illness.
Please.
I don't know why no one's objecting to the relevance of this. It's wild.
You're up in the corner here.
Yeah.
Is this you and Dawson and Cora entering the pool area?
Yeah.
Lindsay was with Callan at that time, correct?
I don't even know where they
So
are.
you were comfortable with her being off in a separate area with Callan while you were with Cora and Dawson that day?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all. Thank you.
Oh, for the love of God, she's in public.
Pod photos and timeline.
Not even that, but this is also the man who felt comfortable leaving her that day after she said she wanted to hurt the children and left her alone. So, I mean, what are we talking about here? They're not looking at anything. They're at sidebar again, or they're muted. Like, we do understand that people who are suffering from depression can actually go through the motions of a day, right? People do it all the time. People do it all the time. But the problem is sometimes when you're forced to go through the motions and not deal with what you're dealing with internally, that also can make you go into psychotic break, right? Having to just go about the motions of every day without dealing with the situation in your head. Yeah, I'm just saying. What she did was calculated. What she did took time. Well, yeah, she could have been in a psychotic break though.
That's a tough one. I mean, I don't think we'll ever know because we're not in her head. So you'll also get I don't know. It's kind of tough. Get the value, choice, and coverage you want.
Ebony, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. They're still.
We have got to the point
That's
where
fine.
literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is Base 44.
It's odd, but the state could be showing her being a normal mother in public. She isn't being violent and showing psychosis, which means the unaliving of children was not premeditated. Yeah, there you go. That could be why the defense isn't objecting. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like it's painting a good picture of her.
Mm-hmm. Sonia, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. All right, come on with these sidebars, though. This is the part of court I can't handle. Wait, what happened, Jamie? Did you not want me to speak? No, speak.
All right, pursuant to our discussion, that portion may be admitted.
Jamie, were you talking to us?
It's at 15? Oh, okay, thank you.
Sir,
Someone shut the
directing your
mic.
attention
Oh,
now to January 16th, 2023. Did you go skiing that day?
Yeah.
And who did you go skiing with?
Cora.
And was it just the two of you?
No, we went with another dad and his son,
And who was that dad?
Adam Schwabach.
And was Lindsay home with Callan and Dawson that day when you went skiing with Cora?
Yeah.
Were there any issues or problems that you're aware of when she was home alone with the kids all day?
No.
And was she able to communicate with you throughout the day?
Yeah.
And how was that communication done?
Text. I might have called her. I'm not sure.
And do you recall texting each other back and forth photos of you with Cora and the boys at home and what they were doing?
Yeah.
And so she was able to take those photographs and send them to you without any apparent problem, correct?
Correct.
they're just panning the room now, guys. That's why you're not seeing anything. They're not. There you go. Thank you, Tara, for the follow.
And sir, are these accurate copies of the text messages with the photos that were sent between yourself and the defendant on January 16th, 2023.
Yes.
If I could move to have these marked as the next three exhibits.
They may be admitted.
Exhibits 16, 17, and 18. Mark. And so, showing you the first photo, which was marked Exhibit 16. Did you start off the conversation by sending the photo of you and Cora skiing?
Yeah.
And showing you Exhibit 17, did Lindsay respond by taking and sending this photo of Dawson?
Yeah.
And then did she respond again, sending you selfie she took of herself and Callan?
Yeah.
First of all, look at that face. Did anybody else see an okay woman there?
And you felt comfortable leaving Callan and Dawson home with her that day?
Yeah.
And why is that?
She seemed to be doing a lot better.
In what ways did she seem to be doing better?
Her mood seemed better. She was more active, and she was able to partake in more things.
She was also going to the gym during that time as well, correct? The Kingsbury Club?
That sounds right. Yeah.
Were you hopeful at that time that things were getting better?
Yeah.
Did Lindsay's parents visit you the weekend of January 21st through the 22nd?
Yeah.
And whose idea was that? Do you recall?
I think it was theirs. I think they were just coming to visit to say hi.
And what did you guys do that weekend?
We just hung out and went to a friend's house on Sunday. They left after we got back from there.
And whose friend's house did you go to that Sunday?
The Carneys.
Carneys, okay. And who went to the Carneys?
Lindsay, myself, Dawson, and Cora.
And what did you do there?
There was a fire, and I think we roasted marshmallows or something like that.
Okay. And how was Lindsay's demeanor that day?
She was quieter that day. So, I mean, that was the extent of it.
Was she able to interact with the Carneys?
Yeah, but she's quiet.
Okay. And you said you returned home and then her parents left?
Yeah.
Do you recall Lindsay and her mom taking a picture together that weekend?
Yeah.
Is that photo?
Yeah, that's it.
You could have this marked as the next exhibit.
That may be admitted.
Exhibit 19. And Lindsay seemed to be doing better that weekend, correct?
Overall, yeah.
Were you aware that her mother had sent her a text saying something to the effect of, "I'm glad you're doing so much better"?
I became aware of that later, yeah.
And just showing exhibit 19.
Are you going to show us or not show us? What's happening?
And I'm sorry, Your Honor, I didn't mark the still photo from the Museum of Science. If we could have that as the next.
Sure.
Exhibit 20. Thank you. That Monday, after her parents had gone home to Connecticut, so Monday the 23rd of January, did Cora and Dawson go to school?
Yeah.
And do you recall Lindsay picking them up that afternoon?
Yeah.
When Lindsay returned home with Cora and Dawson, did she discuss with you that Cora was having some stomach issues at school?
Yeah.
And were you familiar with the stomach issues that Cora had been having?
Yeah.
And did you have an idea of what was causing those stomach issues?
Yeah, it wasn't unusual. She was embarrassed to go to the bathroom at school, so she just held it all day.
Okay. And so this was a common occurrence?
Yeah.
And were you aware that Cora had her 5-year physical scheduled for the next day, Tuesday, the 24th?
No, I didn't know that was already scheduled. I thought she called it in and set it up. So yeah, it's news to me.
Okay. So would it have been Lindsay who would make those kinds of appointments, the physicals and all of that?
She usually handled that, yeah.
Okay. And
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation.
3. Were you working that day?
I'm sorry, you said on the 24th?
Yes, Tuesday, the 24th.
Yep.
That morning was Cora's doctor's appointment at 8 a.m.?
Yeah.
And who took her to the doctor's appointment?
Lindsay.
And did anyone have to go with her, or did she drive herself and Cora there?
It's just Lindsay and Cora.
And you were home with the boys, is that right?
Yeah.
And while you're with the boys and Lindsay's with Cora at the doctor's, are you sending text messages and photos back and forth?
Yeah.
And why did you send a photo of Dawson to Lindsay that morning?
Because he dressed himself completely for the first time.
And he was excited about that?
Yeah.
And did she respond back with a photo of Cora?
Yeah.
Are these the photos you sent back and forth?
Yeah.
I could have the photo of Dawson as the next exhibit and the photo of Cora as the following.
All right, they may be admitted.
And 22 somewhere?
This is really sad.
Exhibit 21. Exhibit 22. And while you were texting with Lindsay back and forth, were you able to understand her text messages?
Yeah.
Did she seem to understand yours in response?
Yes.
Did she return home?
Yes.
And do you recall around what time she got home that morning?
8:30.
And once she got home, what did you do?
I think I got ready for work.
And while you were downstairs working in your office, do you know what Lindsay and the kids were doing?
They built a snowman and they did some art projects.
And how did you know this was happening?
She texted me a picture.
So Lindsay was continuing to text you and send you photographs throughout that day?
Yeah, and I went up to say hi at one point.
Okay.
Samantha, this happened 2 years ago.
First, I just want to show you the text messages back and forth. The text being on the right-hand side. If you want to look through there and just see if you recognize the messages going back and forth between you and Lindsay that morning. Or that day.
Right. This is says activity sensor.
Excuse me?
I think this is something else.
So starting at 7 a.m. on the 24th, and we go to 8:17 a.m. This is the photo you sent of Dawson, and then the replies going to 8:18 a.m. Is this the reply
Yeah.
from Lindsay? And then throughout the day, just messages back and forth, up to the point. Page 940, where Lindsay sending you the photos of the kids in the snow. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. We could have the text messages marked as the next
All
exhibit.
right, that may be admitted.
623. And just look at one photo. Is this one of the photos
Yeah.
you sent? We could have the photograph marked as the next exhibit.
That may be admitted.
Exhibit 24. How often do you think or do you remember going upstairs that day to interact with Lindsay and the kids?
Once or twice. It was a busier day than usual.
And when you did come up to interact with them, how was Lindsay's mood?
She seemed happy.
Happy? And how could you tell that? What was she doing?
She was playing with the kids, and she seemed in a good mood.
At any point during that day when you came up or while she's texting you, did she tell you she was having suicidal thoughts?
No.
Did she tell you she was having thoughts of harming the kids?
No.
Did she ask for help or anything that caused concern?
No, she's having one of her best days.
One of her best days?
Anybody ever hear the quiet before the
I
storm?
want to direct your attention to 4:53 p.m. that day. Did you receive a text from Lindsay about dinner?
Yeah.
And do you recall what it said?
Something along the lines of, do you want to get takeout? I haven't planned anything.
Do you recall it saying, any chance you want to do takeout from 3V? I didn't cook anything. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
Had you been to 3V restaurant previously?
Yeah.
Alone or with the family?
With the family.
And approximately how many times had you been there to eat?
Probably 3 times.
And so you had all gotten in the car and driven from your home to 3V restaurant in Plymouth approximately 3 times?
Yeah, sometimes we were already out somewhere, but yeah.
Okay, but been there 3 times.
Yeah.
Had you ever done takeout from there before?
No.
Where would you typically do takeout when you were going to do takeout at home?
The Chestnut Grill. I think another one was West End Grill.
Were those closer than 3V to your home?
Yeah.
So Lindsay suggested 3V and you agreed, is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. Did she send you another text at 4:56 p.m. asking you to take a look at the menu?
Yeah.
And did you send a text at 5:06 p.m. About Callan?
Yeah, I asked if he had taken a nap.
And did she respond?
Yeah.
And what was her response?
That it was a shorter nap and he was awake.
And at that time, did you also send a separate text asking what she was getting at 3V?
Yeah.
And what was her response?
I don't remember what she ordered.
Do you recall a Mediterranean Power Bowl?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Oh, well, she's guilty. She ordered the Powerball.
And did she ask you what you were getting?
Yeah.
And at 5:08 p.m., did you respond?
Yeah.
And what did you tell her?
I forget what it was.
Do you recall scallop and pork belly risotto?
Yeah.
That was it?
Yep.
Who called in the order to 3V?
Lindsay.
Once the order was placed, what did you do?
I came upstairs. I took Callan for a minute, and I rocked him by my knees, kissed Cora on the head, and I said, "I'll be right back."
And what was Dawson doing when you were leaving?
He was eating chicken nuggets on the couch.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI.
Right, better lock him up for the risotto. Because the one restaurant is farther away, and so they're saying that she planned it farther away so he could be gone longer to give her enough time to kill everybody. Not because she just felt like to have a Mediterranean Powerball that day.
Do you remember what the defendants, well, first of all, where was the defendant seated when you left the house, or was she seated?
She was standing in the
And where
doorway.
was she?
In the doorway of the living room.
And was that the doorway by the front door or the doorway by the basement door?
This doorway by the basement door.
Yes.
And did she have Callan, or where was Callan?
She had Callan.
Okay. And what was her demeanor?
Normal.
Counsel, can I see both sidebar here?
Oh, we're sidebarring. So if it was so odd that she went to this 3V restaurant, why didn't the husband text and be like, do you really want that? We don't ever order from there. That's something new. There was no indication that that was so out of the norm for them. The guy just went with it. Like if I decided all of a sudden that we're never going to, we don't go and call takeout from someone, and I went and all of a sudden brought up my husband and be like, oh, well, that's new. Like, yeah, I'll try something from there. Or, you know, you don't want to just go to this place. Like, if it was so out of the norm, why didn't he question it?
Hi, Sammy.
All right. Members of the jury, we're going to break at this point for the day.
Oh, come on.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to excuse you till Wednesday morning.
Till Wednesday?
Come in here tomorrow. Just remind you, I'm going to ask those same questions I asked you this morning, whether or not you did any research or you saw anything that would affect your ability to remain fair and impartial. You have to still keep an open mind. So don't do any research. Don't talk about this case with anyone. Don't go online, look at anything. Don't take any road trips. And we will see you on Wednesday morning. Same with the same instructions that you got from the officers in regards to that. So again, thank you so much for your time and your effort. And I'll see you on Wednesday.
What was that about? Why all of a sudden we just stopped this in the middle of like in the middle of a question?
Unbelievable.
The judge just stopped it, smack dab in the middle of the questioning, and said, "We'll come back and reconvene on Wednesday."
Yeah.
Unless they found out, did something happen with the jury? I wonder.
All right.
Did he get a note? Like, what happened? The judge had to prove. Yeah, something had to have happened. He must have gotten a note or something. Why does that lady just?
Counsel, anything else we need to address before Wednesday?
I'm not sure if you want to discuss the view.
Oh, yeah, let me see, Counsel, over here.
Yeah, you could be right, Nina, Elizabeth. Maybe someone started breaking down on the jury.
I mean, I don't know that it was that wild yet that somebody would have to break down. Do you?
Yeah.
I mean, it was sad, but I don't know that it was like, I don't know.
Glenn Rose stated that there wouldn't be court tomorrow.
Yeah, they're reconvening Wednesday. Why?
Yeah, no, he stated this morning, I guess. Is that what I'm reading, or did I read that wrong?
And that they would be
Yeah,
ending around 3 p.m. That's wild. Queen Bee, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I mean, you're gonna write smack dead in the middle of a question. That's wild to me. That's wild to me. I didn't hear that. He said that Friday and this morning. Gotcha. Interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
I don't know. And why do you tell them not to take any road trips? Like,
I don't know. I guess because, you got to be back on Wednesday, right? You have one day.
Yeah.
Don't be going away. Don't be talking about it. Don't be watching nothing on it. That was wild. Like, yeah, don't go driving by the house. Don't do any of that stuff. That's wild. I feel like that I get what the prosecution's trying to show, right? I get that the prosecution is trying to show that she had a normal day. Everything was fine until it wasn't, but isn't that usually how it goes? Everything is usually fine until it's not. It makes sense that he was gone. She was left to her own devices inside her head. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden she snapped. I don't know. It just makes sense. It makes sense to me. She knew she was alone, right? And again, the quiet before the storm. The great day until it's not. Man,
there were so many warning signs.
yeah, I agree. They really were. Yeah, I just feel like it was a really good day. It makes sense. I don't think that she chose that restaurant strictly because of where it was. Yeah, the husband does seem drained. I don't think, I mean, because he didn't question it. I could see if he questioned it, like, oh, wait, 3V, we've never done takeout there. Like, if it was so out of the norm that no one's ever ate for the first time at a restaurant takeout. You know what I mean? At some point, you have a first time to things. So I see where they're going, but I don't. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I don't see anything that makes me think that she was purposely planning this. Like it just doesn't make sense.
Didn't they find out that she was looking up on the computer how long it would take him to get to that restaurant and back?
Yeah, I think it was her phone. She was searching how long it would take. But I'm not gonna lie. I would. I've done that. Like nobody else has done that.
I don't know. I mean, why would she do that? I don't understand. Why would she do that?
I mean, for the same, why would I do it? You know what I mean? Because I want to know how long it is before to make it sacrifice.
Yourself? Yeah, I would look it up if I was going myself and see how long it might take to get there or how far away it is.
Yeah, I would definitely, you know what I mean? Like I have so much time to finish before he gets home with the food. Like I do. I've done that. Like, you know what I mean? For different reasons. Just how long is it going to take? I'm hungry. You know, do I have time to finish the dishes before he gets back with the food? Can the kid, play outside for a few minutes before he gets back with the food? I can see there being reasons she would have done that. I can also, though, however, see that, yeah, maybe she did plan him to leave, right? Like, it's not out of the realm for a psychotic break to think that I need him out of here to go along with what I did. I just don't see the benefit in her killing the kids. I mean, could it be just because she felt like she wanted to kill her kids? I mean, yeah, I guess it's possible, but what are the odds? That, you know what I mean?
Anything's possible. I mean,
Right.
that's why I'm kind of stuck in the middle right now, because I could see like both sides. You know?
Yeah, but what is the probability? Like that I could see taking herself out, but the kids, especially if they were fighting, if the husband and wife were arguing and fighting, and she took the kids out, then I could be like, you know what, she didn't want him to have the kids. I get that, but yeah, there really was. I don't get the motive. Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get it. Like I could see if you were trying to make a point to a spouse or someone, but I don't know. But I agree, this one's a hard one.
Yeah, I mean, how come? Like, what was the purpose of her always sending him photos when they were in the same house?
Well, he was doing it to her too, though.
Or maybe that was a habit he became, you know.
I mean, if he's in the basement working all day, though, you know what I mean? I'm not going to lie. I'm that person that sends my husband photos while he's at work of me and the kids. You know what I mean? When my husband, you know, used to go to school upstairs and work from upstairs in the office, I would be that person that was just like, I know you don't have time to come down, but here you go. Look what she did. Look what he did. So that's not odd to me. You know what I mean? It's really not odd to me. Taking a selfie in the hospital, not odd to me. I mean, it is to me. I personally wouldn't take a picture of myself.
I find that odd. I mean, if you go in there for the situation she was going for, like, why would I don't know.
But how many people do that as a norm on a daily basis? Far too many, unfortunately.
I haven't seen anybody do that in the hospital. I've been in hospitals a lot.
Oh, I have. You've never seen anybody post the pictures of themselves in the hospital? I got one person comes to mind right now.
Oh yeah, I see people post
all the time. You know what I mean? Like
a lot, and I just don't see. I've never seen anybody do that. It's strange to me.
And I feel like, especially if you're one of those people who, I'm one of those people who update my family lives far away from me, and so does my husband's family. So we all keep everybody updated via Facebook. So if you went to my personal Facebook, you would see me post things where it's like, I can't call 25 different people, ain't got that kind of time. You know, but I'll sit there and I'll post a picture of like my current situation. He's fine, so you all know, but this is what, you know what I mean, why I haven't responded. I do use my personal Facebook as a form of communication. So like I can see my kid being in a hospital with like a ace bandage on the ankle and me being like, yep, here you go. This is what this one did at the soccer game, you know. Myself, I'm not really a selfie taker if it's not with like kids or something. But I do see people do it all the time. All the time I see people showing snapping pictures of their IVs and I'm in the hospital. And again, that picture it wasn't like she was like duck lips, you know, like it was nothing like that. It was like, this is my current situation, just in case y'all want to know, kind of thing. So I get that. I can get that. I understand that. To me, that's not odd.
Well, that's normal, I think, also.
Yeah. I
think it's normal as far as I see it a lot on social media a lot, but like I said, I've been in hospitals a lot, and I've never seen anybody do that. I think it's kind of.
Oh, I worked in a hospital, and as a nurse, I used to have to tell people all the time, don't be in here taking pictures, streaming. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. It's a hospital floor. They do it, unfortunately, more often than they should. It's wild.
Right.
But Joyce,
they don't think of their age too. They're younger.
Yeah.
People like, I don't know, how old are they? Do you know?
They're 30s. They're early 30s.
Early 30s. She was 32 at the time this happened. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm used to my phone as well. I'm not so much. I'm an older millennial, but younger millennials, they constantly are taking photos of themselves, selfies and Snapchats, and so that's just like the norm.
Yeah, these people are getting into car accidents and running their cell phone before they call 911. So yeah, I kind of get it.
It's crazy to me. Yeah.
Joyce just made a good point though. He also had to pick up the medicine. Now, and again, guys, I have to go check because I don't remember I remember reading it. I don't remember the exact, but wasn't the restaurant and the CVS just 5 minutes from each other?
Yeah, they were pretty close.
So is that the reason she picked that restaurant, because he had to go to that CVS anyway, and it would have been closer?
Didn't she call him and ask him to pick up the medication? It's not like he knew he was going there as well as going to the restaurant.
Yeah, I think he did know he was going there.
It would make sense to why she ordered food over
Yeah,
there.
and then remember she had called to make sure they had it. So he knew, yeah, he was going to the CVS. So I wonder, wasn't it like 5 minutes? The Triple V restaurant was.
Oh, I don't remember. I
Just
catch up on that part.
Hold on, where did I hear that? Where did I hear that?
I was under the understanding that he was heading to the restaurant, and as he was heading home, I guess he told her he picked up the food or whatever, and he said, "Can you stop at the pharmacy
Hold
and
on.
pick up this medicine?"
In her
We typically do when you learn to take out at home.
I want to say that I think we read that in the hold on, let me look up her thing. Hold on.
Your home.
I think it was in her lawsuit.
So when they suggested for you to be and you agree. I don't understand. How can he sue them but she can't?
She did.
Oh, she did also.
Yeah.
And that's still ongoing, right?
Yes, I believe so.
And did she respond?
Let me see.
Response.
Let me get to the.
Did you send a separate text asking what she was getting at 3B? And what was her response?
I remember what she ordered.
Do you recall a Mediterranean carnival?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Ellen said she lives in that area, and the restaurant is 10 minutes from CVS.
Okay. So yeah, it was close, right?
Yep. Do you recall scallop and pork belly risotto?
Yeah.
What the hell does a scallop and pork belly risotto have to do with the price of tea in China?
Oh, and she ordered something else too, some Mediterranean.
Powerball. And if she was working out and worried about her weight at that point in time, that meal makes sense to me.
Right.
Better than a grill.
I think she just kind of overdid herself when you were leaving, and it just all kind of caught up to her at the end, like burnout.
Yeah.
Waking up at 4 in the morning to go run and stuff, I get that before the kids. But I'm feeling like it just kind of all added up. She was just so overwhelmed that her brain just.
Hold on, let's see that day about the medication. Let me see if I can see it in here.
I'm gonna hop off here for a minute. I gotta take my kid to the therapy and to the store. So I'll be in the chat.
Hey, Sam. Is Sam? Sorry if you can hear my TV. I'm still watching the butt end of it.
Are they talking? Are they saying anything over there?
They just got done talking about what they ordered. Do you remember what the defendants did? Well, first of all, where was the defendant seated when you left the house, or was she seated?
She was standing.
No, where was she?
In the doorway over there.
They don't really
You
talk
want me to
about it
turn
in
it
this
off?
one.
Went by the basement door. Do you want me to turn it up?
Yeah, you can.
Where was she account? What's her demeanor?
Counselor Clancy and both sidebar.
Sidebar.
It doesn't mention the medications in this one. Maybe it was Patrick's. It did.
Side of the court, closer and closer to Patrick Clancy testifying about the most horrific discovery of his entire One thing I don't like about watching it on TV, there's too many
Steel for your cuts. That this is going to be very important. And I want to point out for our viewers, is 911 call that has been completed the litigation phase. Lindsay didn't want the public to hear about it. We also believe he's not in the court. The judge agreed that we are not going to be able to see it as a public.
I know there's a lot of nurses on here,
We only see a video of Lindsay.
but as a patient, I am truthfully disgusted with the doctors. I kind of feel where she was at. When you need help in any form, mental, physical, when you go to a doctor, you go expecting help. And when you go to get help and you're not helped, and you say, go 20 more times to get help, and you're still running into the same situation. You go to 4 different doctors trying to get the help you need, and it is not there.
He knew he was going to go to the pharmacy. Yeah, that makes sense. So that makes sense why it was that restaurant. Where's that grill compared to the CVS?
Wednesday morning.
No, we haven't heard the psychiatrist speak yet.
You guys, so again, thank you so much for your time.
I thought I heard they were going to play the 911 call.
So
I
that
don't understand that either.
they are for the jury, but not for the media to hear.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the jury's going to hear it, but it's not open to the media.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he knew leaving the house that he had to go to the pharmacy.
We go to that a couple more hours there inside of that courtroom, and there's a lot more to Patrick Clancy's testimony. But what do you think about something here?
Well, it surprises me.
I must have missed him stopping it.
Almost like
I
want to know what question they were asking him. They were in the middle, or I think he was in the middle of answering, and they cut him off. And
Yeah, I do believe that we knew prior. Somebody asked if we can play opening statements. Did you want to go through, Jamie, the opening statements again?
this as Patrick has in a way that you wish and you know he wishes he could forget forever. He will never be able to forget this day. And the problem that
yeah, neither one of them will ever be able to forget that day.
We can go through the opening statements. Let me see here.
he's desperately trying to not be in that space. At the same time, you can see how that problem will.
At the bottom of the TV, it says, "Court unexpectedly goes into recess for the day."
Myself, I think about it's
You hear that?
Yeah.
This is the opening statement.
Shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This court is now in session. Please be seated.
Thank you, Shiva.
Good morning, Your Honor. May I proceed?
Yes, please.
Your Honor, before the court today, we have the jury trial in the matter of Commonwealth versus Lindsay Clancy. Ms. Clancy is present. She is represented by Attorney Kevin Reddington, and the Commonwealth is represented by Assistant District Attorney Jennifer Spray and Assistant District Attorney Shannon Bucky.
It'll show once they let me get my face on the screen first. This is Massachusetts, LH. Okay, Angela.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
All right. Nice. All right. Thank you, everyone. I'm sorry, that's the technology that we have here. I apologize. Before we get going, I want to ask you just a couple of questions to make sure that everyone was able to follow my instructions from last week. And so the first question would be, has any member of the jury read, seen, or heard, or overheard anything about any aspect of this case that would affect your ability to be fair and impartial as a juror? All right. All answered no in the negative. Number three, the last question I just want to ask you, is there any other serious matter of concern bearing on your service as a juror in this case that anybody needs to bring to my attention? All right. Very good. Thank you again for following those instructions. And Madam Clerk?
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, please stand and raise your right hand. Do each of you solemnly swear that you shall well and truly try the issues between the Commonwealth and the defendant at the bar according to your evidence, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. You may be seated. Members of the jury, hearken to these indictments. On docket number 2383 CR 00198, offense 001 on the charge of murder, the jurors for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts on their oath present that Lindsay M. Clancy of Duxbury in the County of Plymouth, on or about January 24, 2023, at Duxbury in the County of Plymouth, did assault and beat Cora Clancy, intend to murder her, and by such assault and beating did kill and murder said Cora Clancy. On docket number 2383 CR 00198, offense 002, on the charge of murder, the jurors for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts on their oath present that Lindsay M. Clancy of Duxbury in the County of Plymouth, on or about January 24, 2023, at Duxbury in the County of Plymouth, did assault and beat Dawson Clancy with intent to murder.
What a weak, sassy girl.
Assault and beating did kill and murder the said Dawson Clancy. On docket number 2383 CR 001, offense 003, charge of murder, the jurors for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts on their oath present that Lindsay M. Clancy of Duxbury, Plymouth, on or about...
No, Heather, what's going on with Savannah's new video?
At Duxbury in the County of Plymouth, did assault and beat Callum Clancy, intend to murder him, and by such assault and beating did kill and murder the said Callum Clancy. To these indictments, the defendant at the bar pleads not guilty, and for trial places herself upon the country. Which country you are. You were sworn to try the issues. If she is guilty, you shall say so. If she is not guilty, you shall say so and no more. Members of the jury, hearken to your evidence.
All right. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Now, members of the jury, and really, this is the first time I can technically call you members of the jury, because you don't become the jury in this case. So you take that great oath that was just given. It's actually
Cora and her little Johnny and Matt, full of energy. He loved
case based only on his confidence in you. You should have confidence in yourself.
Clancy family, people who saw them regularly, people who saw them on the day in which this defendant killed them. They're all going to come before you. And it may be heartbreaking to hear what they have to say. You'll see photographs of the crime scene. You'll hear testimony from first responders. They're going to tell you about what they discovered when they came into the Clancy home at 47 Summer Street in Duxbury on January 24th. You'll hear evidence about the defendant during that time period, observations of her physical appearance, her demeanor. You'll hear testimony about what she was reporting to her friends and family and doctors during this time period. The list of witnesses is quite long. Law enforcement, firefighters, friends, family, teachers, crime scene investigators, forensic scientists, toxicologists, medical examiners, experts. We expect over the next few weeks that you will be able to, or will be able to present to you a clear picture of what was occurring in the Clancy household on January 24th of 2023. We ask that you keep an open mind when you're hearing this evidence, and during the course of the trial, don't forget that you use your common sense and your life experience. Those are things that you bring as jurors to the courtroom every day, and it's what's going to take you into the deliberation room at the end of this trial. So what happened? On January 24th, 2023, it had recently snowed. It was in fact a Tuesday. Tuesdays were days that Cora and Dawson usually went to preschool. They attended the Learning Sprouts preschool in Duxbury, but they didn't attend on Tuesdays. So on this day, they were home. On this particular day, Cora, who had just turned 5, had an appointment at the doctor's, an annual checkup. And so the defendant brought her first thing in the morning to the doctor's. Defendant's husband, Patrick Clancy, was home and he was caring for Callan and Dawson while defendant took Cora to the doctor. Pretty normal. You'll hear and see that Patrick and the defendant exchanged text messages that morning. Patrick sends a photo of Dawson, who had just dressed himself that day and he was jumping for joy. And he sends that text to the defendant while she's at the doctor. And while at the doctor, the defendant sends a text of Cora in her little Johnny and mask to Patrick. When the defendant and Cora returned home that morning, Patrick went downstairs to his basement office to do work, same as he had normally done on any other day since returning from paternity leave. And then the defendant was charged with caring for the kids for the rest of the day. She put Callan down for a nap, bundled up Cora and Dawson, took them outside to the backyard, and played in the snow. They built a snowman. The defendant sent pictures of the snowman and the kids in the snow to Patrick when he's working in the basement, and her mom, who was living in Connecticut, who had just been there that week.
Does that really sound like somebody who's planning on killing them?
The day proceeds as normal. You'll hear Patrick describe it as a good day, actually.
Yeah.
In the late afternoon, around 4 p.m., the defendant searched on her phone for kids' Miralax. She searched takeout 3V, and she opened the Apple Maps on her phone and searched the route that it would take to get from their house to the 3V restaurant in Plymouth. She searched how much time and how far it was. Now, this restaurant had been a place that the family had eaten before, but wasn't their normal takeout spot. She also called CVS and asked them about the kids' Pedialax or Miralax. And that's because at the doctor earlier that day, the doctor had recommended a laxative for Cora because she had some stomach issues. She had complained of an upset tummy at school the day before, you'll hear. She had some issues where she didn't like to go to the bathroom at school, a little bit embarrassed. So they suggested the Pedialax. So she calls CVS and she confirms that they actually have it at their local CVS in Kingston. Then she sends a text to Patrick and asks if he wants to get takeout, if 3V is okay. She didn't feel like cooking dinner, it was a long day. He says, sure. She calls in the order. When Patrick leaves the house around 5:15 that evening, everything is normal, seems normal. He sees Dawson eating chicken nuggets and green beans on the couch before he walks out the door. Patrick.
So then everything was normal. So what makes us think that she was planning it maliciously?
That's when the clock starts, ladies and gentlemen. The defendant knows that Patrick has to stop at CVS, go to 3V. She knows that it's about 5 miles from their house to get to the restaurant. She knows approximately how much time she has for him to go there and come back. She then takes the children down into the basement. She separates Dawson from Cora and Callan, and then she proceeds to wrap exercise bands around each child's neck and pull until they are dead. She leaves the bands wrapped around each child's neck and goes back upstairs.
So doesn't that sound like a snap?
In the kitchen, she gets a knife, and then she proceeds to the second floor of the home. In the middle of this, she misses a call from Patrick.
Like she just blinked out.
She misses the call. She calls him right back, and they talk for 14 seconds. Nothing that she does or says in that phone call is of concern to Patrick. He proceeds on his task, and she proceeds with hers. She goes to the second floor master bedroom, locks the door, crushes up some pills, and attempts to take her own life. She uses the knife she got in the kitchen to slash her wrists and her neck. She moves the bed away from the wall, away from the window. She opens that window and goes out. She lands on the cold, hard ground. Shortly thereafter, around 6 p.m., Patrick comes home. He's got the takeout bag and the CVS bag with the medicine. He enters into the house through the mudroom door into the kitchen area, places the bags down, eerily quiet. He calls to the kids, no answer. He calls to the defendant, no answer. He takes out his phone and dials the number for Lindsay's phone, defendant's phone, no answer. He then goes upstairs and finds the master bedroom door locked. He opens it and enters the room, sees blood and the window open. He then goes to the backyard, and that's where he finds the defendant. She's on the ground.
Sounds to me like a psychiatric
outside that window,
psychotic break, yeah.
moaning and mumbling. At 6:11 p.m., he calls 911 for help. First responders arrive to the home almost immediately. He's still on the phone with 911 when the responders arrive, and they go right to the backyard and tend immediately to the defendant. While they're with the defendant, Patrick tells the first responders, "I need to find my kids." He had asked the defendant where the kids were, and she told them they were in the basement. So when he went in the house, that's the first place he went, down into the basement. He's still on the phone with 911 when he finds each child with an exercise band still wrapped around their neck. He screams for help, and he says, "She killed the kids." Efforts made to resuscitate Cora and Dawson were futile, but first responders from Duxbury and the surrounding communities were persistent, and they kept trying to resuscitate them all the way to.
I'm going to pause this right here really quick because do you guys hear how she's getting like it's hard for her to speak as the prosecution? She made a very emotional statement, right? And so that's why I'm not so keen on the way the defense handled it, because his was not so emotional. He wasn't pulling at the heartstrings as so much as just going on tangents. I don't know. Just, again, I'm going to take the fact that the guy knows what he's talking about. However, I don't think that was the best work I've ever seen the defense do.
But when they arrived at the hospital, there was nothing more that medical staff could do for Cora and Dawson. The staff at Beth Israel were able to get a heartbeat on Callan, but he never started breathing on his own. He never regained consciousness. He had no brain activity. Nonetheless, he was transferred to Boston Children's Hospital, where he died 3 days later on January 27th. The defendant was taken to South Shore Hospital and then transported subsequently to Brigham and Women's in Boston. He had multiple traumas, including spinal injuries, as well as superficial injuries to both her wrists and her neck. She is paralyzed. We expect during the course of this trial that you'll hear the defendant made claims that either right after Patrick left the house or after he called her from the CVS, depending on which version of the events she's telling, she heard a voice, a male voice, a voice that she had never heard before, a voice that she never heard again. And that voice told her that it was her last chance. She had to kill the kids so that she could kill herself. She immediately took action when she heard the voice, with no direction or details from this so-called voice, and she killed the children. Once she killed the children, the voice stopped. When you consider this information in the course of the trial, ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you consider the source, the timing, the substance of her statements about this voice. You're also going to hear from, or you may hear from, forensic psychologists and psychiatrists who talk about what's called command hallucinations and voices that people hear before they do something. And when you hear that testimony, I ask that you keep in mind the details of what she's saying the voice told her. and the details of when this voice spoke to her. Another important thing to remember throughout the course of this trial is that this is not a case about the Lindsay Clancy that sits before you today. This case is about the Lindsay Clancy on January 24th, 2023, at the time of the crimes. This was not a woman in the throes of psychosis on January 24th, 2023. This was a woman who acted intentionally, rationally, and swiftly to accomplish a very specific goal: to kill. You'll see and hear evidence about all the things that she did that day, what she did in the days leading up to this incident, leading to the murders. You'll hear her spending time with her family and friends. You'll hear her appearing to be in good spirits and doing better for all intents and purposes. On that very day, you'll hear she interacted with people at the doctor's office. She came home and took care of the kids. She talked to people on the phone and via text message. The evidence will show you she was not psychotic that day. Throughout the evidence in this trial, you learn about the defendant being a classic overachiever in school, in her personal life, in her nursing career. She was someone who liked to control every little detail of her life, of her family's life. In contrast to pictures you'll see of the doting mother, the dedicated nurse, you'll also see a side of Lindsay Clancy that's different. Somebody extremely controlling, meticulous, and manipulative. The days were laid out with specificity. Strict schedules were expected to be maintained. Food was planned carefully. Sleep was scheduled to the minute. And in the time after Callan was born, her last baby, the family had to adjust. And by all sources that I expect you're going to hear at that trial, that summer was great. But after Patrick had finished his paternity leave and was back to work full time, when she no longer had a nanny to watch the baby, do laundry, tidy up the house, follow her schedule, when she was responsible for it all, it was hard. It was hard for her to maintain that control. It was hard for her to bond with her kids. And in efforts to maintain control, she withheld information from her husband, from her doctors. She reported serious symptoms that were inconsistent with her daily activities, you'll hear. And ultimately, on January 24th, 2023, the defendant made a calculated decision. This was a woman who no longer liked the life she thought she wanted. It was getting harder and harder to control. And when she saw the opportunity to escape, she made the selfish choice to take it, and to take Cora, Dawson, and Callan first before attempting to take her own life. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a public debate about women's mental health and how the medical system treats women.
Yes, it is.
This case is about this defendant, Lindsay Clancy. There is no dispute that she was dealing with mental health issues during this time period prior to the murders. There'll be medical records, medical doctors, mental health professionals that will talk about treatment, prescriptions, hospital visits. All that's going to be before you. The evidence will show that this defendant had a means and access to mental health that most people
Thank you, Christina, for the follow. I appreciate
and
it.
she chose to deal with her mental health issues in the worst way. She chose to manipulate her providers, seek out the quick and easy fix when she was feeling depressed and anxious. And when she didn't get what she expected, she chose an alternate route. She sought a different doctor. She changed medications after days. She disengaged from treatment when she didn't like the plan. After only 4 months in treatment, she made a choice, a deliberate and intentional decision that she did not want to try anymore. And because no one could take care of her kids the way she wanted them to, she had to take them with her.
That makes no sense.
Despite
So,
all the precision that she exhibited
that right
that
there
day,
doesn't make any
here,
sense.
the timing of it all, the swiftness of the killings, overcoming the interruption of Patrick's phone call, what she did not anticipate was that she would not be able to complete the act by killing herself. Ladies and gentlemen, people with mental illness commit crimes every day and are responsible for them. The fact that someone may suffer or have a mental illness, a mental disease or defect is not the end of the inquiry when it comes to guilt or innocence. It is whether a person can appreciate the wrongfulness or criminality of the conduct and conform their conduct to the law. Do they know what they were doing, and can they control their actions? The evidence in this case will prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this defendant coldly and efficiently executed first Dawson, then Cora, and finally Callan. One by one, she strangled the life out of each one of them. She did so with no hesitation, with deliberate premeditation, and extreme atrocity and cruelty. She is criminally responsible for the murders because the evidence will prove to you that she knew exactly what she was doing. She drew her husband out of the house, their father, so that she had the opportunity and the time to carry out these murders. She maintained the ability to control her conduct, conform her conduct, when she attempted to kill herself to escape the consequences.
Was it that she was escaping the consequences or the illness?
I ask that you return guilty of the murders of Cora Clancy, Dawson Clancy, and Callan Clancy, because the defendant committed those crimes.
All right, thank you, counsel. Mr. Reddington, do you wish to give an opening?
I do.
All right, we already heard this man. I can't listen to this man again.
Yeah, he didn't do her any favors, that's for sure.
No, I don't feel like he did.
Your Honor, I might use the easel, may it be placed in front of the TV screen so that the jury.
Thank you, Gooch. An mental institution. I agree, Chloe. It's not like we're trying to let this woman walk free.
Yeah, exactly. Right. After this, I don't even think she wants to be free.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, normally, we thank jurors for time away from your life, jobs, your family, coming to court, listening to a trial, certainly is a service that's provided by you as citizens. But in this case, God bless you. You people are going to have to listen to some of the most horrific things. Look at some of the most horrific things.
I can't.
And jurors, it's a beautiful system. You pass between, as you heard Don Clerk say, you probably don't remember it, but it's old language. It was back
Yeah, I
in old
agree.
England. It says that you as jurors pass between the government, them. And she places herself on her country, which country you are.
What?
You owe allegiance to nothing but your oath.
Right?
Can somebody make that make sense for me?
And your time, your common sense. You bring your life experience to this trial. You render a verdict. And
I really hope he has a very clever trick up that sleeve.
Yeah, he'd better have something up that sleeve.
Very, very seriously. You people will never forget this case. And thank you for that service.
Stop calling you people. You the
Government
jurors.
says that this is a situation, it's not a referendum on women's having babies and having postpartum psychosis, postpartum depression, but it sure as hell is. Because you're going to hear, consistent with what His Honor told you in the instructions, consistent with the obligation that the government has when they brought this charge. Tim Cruz, the DA, right in the front row, brought this charge. He knew, as did his office, the facts of this case. And he knew when he brought this charge that it was going to kill the soul of this young woman. And they would bring their evidence.
But her soul's not on trial here. Her actions are that.
She knows that she killed these children. We'll sit here, listen to their evidence. But I suggest to you that the issue for consideration is what was going on in that woman's mind. You're going to hear evidence that, as the government said, Lindsay was a kind of a parent pleaser. She was a person that in school had a lot of friends, still has friends. You'll hear evidence to this day from the 6th grade. High school, college, nursing school. You're going to hear evidence that Lindsay, in the course of being in high school, she was a high achiever of gymnastics. Stopped doing gymnastics because she hurt herself and didn't like to do the backflips and stopped doing gymnastics, but she was very athletic.
This.
You can hear evidence that she had.
I don't even know what to say.
The last child, within 4 or 5 days, she ran a 5K. She was very, very, very physically fit. Her life was such that she watched what she ate.
What does her physical fitness have to do with
life
anything?
as far as activities?
Nothing.
And was one heck of a mother.
She only had to pull lightly on the band around his neck. This makes no sense.
All the things that the DA said to you about those little kids and their life and what they like, she knows 1,000 times more than what they know. And in that capacity, as a mother, daily, you'll see evidence that she would decorate rooms, that she and Patrick did have that achievement of a wonderful life. They had it all. They met in Boston. She was a young nurse out of school. He was working in his industry. They ended up falling in love. They got married, bought a nice house. You know, people will say, oh, they're living in this mansion. No, they're living in a very, very humble house in Duxbury that they had to struggle to pay for. That house, you will see, not
what does that have anything to do with the price of
It's not enough that we have photographs. On top of the photographs, we have to have a video. And on top of the photographs and a video, we have to have an auto-computerized animated display. And on top of the photographs, the video, the automated animated display, we have to get on a bus and go take a ride and look at the house where some guy and his wife are now living, that it doesn't look at all like what it looked like when Lindsay and Patrick were living there with their 3 kids. But there are videos that show what that home looked like that day, prior to that. You'll see in every room, there are things hanging on the walls, alphabets, colors, numbers, pictures of different cartoon characters, and I'm too old to even remember what they are. Movies, all sorts of toys, erector sets, trucks, all over the living room. There was no dining room. It was a large thing for the baby to be in, and then surrounded by toys. Every single room had toys.
She had a nice house.
These children were loved and nurtured and cared for by her. She didn't want to get rid of her kids because of her selfish life, as the government indicates. She loved those children right up to the time of their death. You're going to see that there's photographs in this case that you will be able to evaluate that show that. Some of them might even be in the videos that the state police took. This case is a massive production by the district attorney's office. You have the district attorneys, the assistant district attorneys, the assistants to the assistant district attorneys. You have the state police crime laboratory. You have the detectives. You have the state police, the armed men that will go out and interview witnesses and will investigate this case. You have the victim witness advocate, very nice lady, by the way, that deals with witnesses and people in a case such as this. It's a massive operation, and that's great. We should have that. But when you're considering the evidence, you consider the fact that you have two young people that were living this life, that were working, and Patrick, not because of COVID, not because of he just didn't want to work in an office anymore. He worked out of his basement. He worked in an office in the basement. He was there because of what Lindsay was going through. He was there. He lived it. And he will testify to it. He doesn't have to testify, quite frankly, and identify clothing and be distraught and placed in a position of horror in this courtroom. But he will testify to what they went through as a husband and a wife, the wife being pregnant. They had 3 kids. After the second child, she had postpartum. You're going to hear evidence that that's one of the issues that is important because that could lead to bipolar. One of the things that you don't do, which is taboo, is if you have somebody that's bipolar, you don't put them on an antidepressant. You don't put them on Zoloft. You don't put them on what's called an SSRI.
Yes, she both her and her.
Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. It messes with your brain. You don't do that, but it was done in this case. The reason that Lindsay went to the doctors was in September 2022. July and August of 2022, they were very happy. Lovely little family.
I can't. He's jumping around too much.
Things went sideways.
Yeah, this is today.
She looked at and you heard the government saying, and remember what they say in their opening, and remember that when they prepare a case, and remember how they can point at different aspects of a case that show guilt, that show that somebody's conniving. In this case, how many times we heard she faked the suicide. Faked the suicide. Little cuts, dinky little cuts, scratches, you'll hear, stated in the opening statement or time of the arraignment. And she asked for a lawyer. That's rich. You're going to hear evidence that she was in her bedroom after the horrific act in the basement. And that she was up in the bedroom, that she stood in front of a full-length mirror, that she took the knife that was in the kitchen that she had taken. And when she took the knife, she cut her throat in front of the mirror.
Now he pulled out
This
pictures.
is no fake suicide. This is her when she was brought to the hospital. When she was in the hospital. That's what her appearance was at the South Shore Hospital. When she's at the South Shore Hospital, she had wonderful care and treatment that was able, against her will, to save her life. Fake suicide, little scratches, dinky little scratches. This is a photograph that was taken at the South Shore Hospital of her neck. Photograph taken of her wrist showing the split in the skin. Photograph showing you'll see evidence of this, the bedroom floor next to the bed with the blood. Next to the cup, sadly, a gift saying "because kids." You see the white residue inside the cup? That's where the pills were crushed up with leftover lemonade from the night before, and she consumed that. That's the knife. This here you'll see is sleep aids. See this here, deep sleep pillow spray. She couldn't sleep. She couldn't sleep for months. More photographs of the injuries to her neck. And then, in the course of the fake suicide, speculation by the police, you'll see the evidence that she hung on the window ledge and, like Spider-Man, I guess, slid down the wall of the house. You're going to hear evidence that she flung and threw herself out the window, striking her head on the ground, cold ground, causing what's known as a Jefferson fracture of her neck. She shattered, exploded her thoracic spine, shattered her cervical spine, the first disc, broke every rib. And the Jefferson fracture, you'll hear evidence, is not consistent with a fake suicide by any means. Jefferson fracture is consistent with Superman when he got thrown off the horse. It's consistent with people that have the tragedy where they dive into a swimming pool, as a result of which they get that fracture in their neck and they're paralyzed. She's paralyzed. She's not going to get up miraculously and walk out of this courtroom.
Thank you, Valerie.
Was paralyzed and will be paralyzed for the rest of her life. She's living her own hell. She knows what happened with those kids. And she
Thank you,
wanted to
Christy.
die. When she was in the hospital, you're going to see evidence. Brigham and Women's Hospital, when they transferred her from South Shore Hospital, air flight into Brigham and Women's Hospital, and she was then given the emergency room with the emergency treatment at the Brigham and Women's Hospital. You couldn't move in that room. There was so much equipment, so many wires, so many breathing tubes, so many machines, humming, banging, clicking, and she's spread out like she's crucified on the bed while she's being treated in that room, surrounded by armed police officers. Out in the hallway, guarding the hallway against what? Anyone could guess. Guarding the hallway, guarding the room, guarding the bed, standing there. She's.
What is he talking about? She should be, though. Like, I'm not against that. Like, that's understandable.
Government speculates that, again, you see how the government is able to create what they want for facts. That she is so cold and calculating that she said.
Susie Q, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
After I brought a psychologist, Dr. Zeisel, into that room to see her, I had to move heaven and earth. You'll hear evidence that they wouldn't even let her have visitors. She couldn't even see her family for over a week. The cops wouldn't let anybody near her. That room was an armed camp. I had to move heaven and earth and practically get a court order to be able to get in there and see her while she's laying in the bed. And they suggest and will suggest
Thank you, Tilly.
that she said, I heard voices, I heard command hallucinations telling me to kill the kids and then kill myself, after she talked to Paul Zeisel as if he was telling her what to say because I'm the lawyer and I brought him into that hospital. You're going to hear evidence that Paul Zeisel is one of the most respected psychologists. You're going to hear evidence that he was embedded with the military in Afghanistan for years. You're going to hear evidence that he works for the government when there's a shooting involving the FBI, the CIA, or any of those alphabet soup cops. He's involved out interviewing these people for post-traumatic stress. I knew that he was the man to talk to this young woman in the hospital. When I finally was able to get into that room, into that hospital, he was with me. He did not tell her command voices. He, as a human being, gave her a cell phone so she could call Patrick. But you know what? You're going to hear evidence from a woman who works at Brigham and Women's Hospital. Saw Lindsay. As soon as she came out of it.
He is rambling, guys. He is. He's rambling.
She is a woman that works with the religious services in that hospital. And the first thing that Lindsay wanted to know is, where's my family?
Thank you, Barrett.
She told her about what happened and told her about the command voices. And this is well before she ever met me or Paul Zeisel. So you have to keep focused on the evidence.
Guys, if you're just getting in here, don't forget to give a follow. And we are listening to the defense's opening statement on the Lindsay Clancy trial that happened this morning. Janine, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
Young woman that, with her husband, tried very hard to get the help she needed. She went and saw a doctor by the name of, oh, by the way, remember in the open, the government says she shopped around for doctors, I guess. She wanted to get doctors to, I don't know, give her drugs or something. You can hear evidence that she went online and she looked for someone that was into neonatal or post-baby delivery because she knew that she was in trouble.
Yeah,
Couldn't
Barry, he
sleep.
was struggling today.
She had insomnia. It wasn't just, you know, when you get up in the middle of the night because your phone's on. She couldn't sleep. She could only get 2 hours a night, 3 hours a night if she's lucky, as time went on. In September, she went to see Dr. Tufts. Jennifer Tufts is the name of the doctor. Jennifer Tufts then gave her a prescription for Zoloft, which is a antidepressant. It's one of those SSRIs. She didn't take the Zoloft for a couple of weeks because she was breastfeeding. She was afraid to have the baby have anything to do with drugs, but ultimately couldn't do it any longer, took the Zoloft and was spun out of control. Oh, because you didn't hear evidence because she was bipolar. You don't give a bipolar person Zoloft, but she got it. You're going to see what the effect was that it had on her as that week went on, as that month drove on, and she couldn't sleep, and she was unable to emote, had no emotions, had no feelings, was unable to really react to anything, but had to take care of the kids. And as the government says, well, she was able to talk to people. She was able to talk to neighbors. Sure, you're going to hear because they don't call them. We're going to call them. People that knew Lindsay as a mother, people that knew Lindsay, teachers of those kids will indicate what kind of a mother she was, as will neighbors.
Did it just, I think it just, here we go.
You're going to see that there's photographs in this case that you will be able to evaluate that show that. Some of them might even be in the videos that the state police took. This case is a massive production by the district attorney's office. You have the district attorneys, the assistant district
That's
attorneys.
all they have from this morning to replay.
To this day wants to die.
So what do you guys think? I feel like I just don't think that he did her any justice this morning. Again, I hope he does. I hope this was all on purpose and he has a plan, and I'm going to have faith in him that he has a plan. However, I don't know that that helped anything this morning. So
I feel he should have focused on more of her as a person.
As a mother,
Yes.
Maybe more of the kids, how much they love their mom, and yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that the prosecution pulled way too much emotion, and he didn't pull any. I mean, yeah. He was saying that there's toys in a room, and so she loved her kids. It goes deeper than just having toys in a room. You know, who took care of them when they were sick, who woke up with them, and who stayed up with them when they had the croup, and all of that. That's the thing, you know. So I don't know. I feel like I also understand what people are saying as far as the prosecution, though. I feel like they also, I mean, you're admitting that she was sick, right? So, like, you're kind of, yeah, she could have snapped, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know that what they said helped either. You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
True. This is going to be interesting. Do you plan on covering this? Okay, good.
Yep, I plan on streaming it, so they won't be back until Wednesday, guys. Wednesday at 9 a.m. We will be ready for court. We will stream, and they interrupted the prosecution today, questioning him, and so Patrick Clancy, the husband, and so we will continue on Wednesday with him being questioned by the prosecution, and then he has the defense. So,
did you say 10 o'clock?
9 a.m. Eastern.
9 a.m. Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good.
So we will be here. Well, guys, I'm gonna be going. I'm gonna go hang out with my kiddos for a little bit. This was really interesting. We may be on live. Oh, that was Moo knocking over my cup. We may be on live later. just chit-chatting and catching up about what happened today. But guys, this is also over on YT, and it also streamed over on FB. So guys, if you're over on YT and FB, don't forget to give a follow and a subscribe. And for those of you on YT and Facebook, don't forget to follow over here on TikTok. And guys, thank you very much. Jamie, She Shed, Susan, Sam was up here before. Everybody who came up. And guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.